Hi, everybody. I'm Sandra McEllis. I'm your host of Keep It Spiritually Simple. It's available on YouTube and all of the podcasting channels such as Amazon, Spotify, etc., etc. So look me up, hit subscribe, hit like, hit share, and please, by all means, leave a comment, a question, or how you're doing. I love hearing them. And it also helps my algorithms of the show to circulate across the web of showing up on someone else's screen unexpectedly. But can we actually say it's unexpected? Because sometimes spirit will bring us exactly what we need in the right moment without even anticipating it. So it seems like it's a coincidence, but it's truly a very synergistic design by our higher team. Okay. Because our etheric body, the energy body around the physical body, um, is our primary source of information and communication with source creator and all that there is. And then it filters in through the mental, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual bodies. And then it processes in there where lots of times it gets blocked. So if we're listening to that innate voice, that innate feeling, that flowing currency of information that doesn't seem like it's quite ours from the ego, that's your higher self. That's your higher self. It has a whole different feeling and it's just undeniable. It's undeniable. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening here. We're in February 2026. I'm going to sit here in my rocking chair where I'm the most comfortable and I move because my energy flows better when I'm personally in movement. I'm a kinesthetic tactile learner, and growing up, that was not an option. You were placed in a classroom behind a desk, and everything was auditory and visual and timed. And so it wasn't until my 30s when I bit the bullet to go to massage school, and you really have to be hands on there and intuitive there. I realized how much I struggled in the academic side of it. I could understand it, but I couldn't understand it. And I couldn't get it from my brain into this hand to transform it to what the teacher would consider passable. So I struggled to get B's. Someone noticed that I learned differently. And that was back in the 90s, just as ADD was coming on the forefront and learning differences were starting to be talked about. So, in those moments of learning, I learned how highly intelligent I am. I just learn differently. And once I opened up those neural pathways to learning differently and accepting my uniqueness, my different self, my non normal, weird, whatever you want to label it, I just said to myself, oh my gosh, how did I go 36 years struggling, thinking, you know, la la la, when I really had la 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 la, just in a different way. So, anyhow, let's go into something Spirit told me back in January of 2019. That was no distractions, no distractions, no distractions. And at the time, I didn't understand it at all whatsoever. I just didn't understand it. Hold on a sec. I may pause just because I'm going to clear my throat and it just sounds annoying when it's on audio. So bear with me. We've got some allergies coming in here in the DC area, warm weather hitting us on top of being freezing one day. And hey, you can shed your coat the next. So, anyway, the distractions. And then once I got towards the fall, I really started intuitively feeling something was coming and I didn't know what it was. Fast forward into March of 2020 and forward, here we are. Now, all these distractions are coming in the forms of Everybody's got an opinion. Now, the saying used to be opinions are like assholes, everyone's got one. And my response to that is no. For every asshole, there's a million opinions because our brain is all over the place trying to take in this fast front loading forced upon us information while our body is sort of jammed up from environmental issues, from our foods, from medicines, from busy to multitasking was a skill and it's not. It just overloads our brain. Okay. So, anyway, getting back to the distractional part of it and knowing that we're still having it and it's coming on fast and furious. And so everyone's got their nose out there wanting to know what's in the Epstein files. Is the UFOs really real? Are we going to have contact? What am I doing? Me. And then you give your power over to them, and you're taking in all this information on top of possibly working full time, having a significant other or children or pets or whatever. But we are literally being stretched to the max. And if you could see it in an energetic picture, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So once we become aware of that, we realize, wow, so many things are distracting me. Let me unplug. So look at things like a plunger, like unplunge, cut this cord, cut that cord. Nope, I'm going to sit back and breathe today and take some chill time. And I'm going to step away from all kinds of electronical interferences within my electromagnetic body, because really, truly, it does. You can take in limited amounts, but then you need to step away, just like anything else. You can't exercise all day and get the benefit from it. You're going to fry. You're going to fry quickly on every level and every cell and every part of your systems. And all these systems are critically important to work in homeostasis with each other. So if one system is off, there's other systems that are trying to pick up the slack. And so you're off kilter. You're not in balance. You're not in harmony. And you sure as hell aren't in homeostasis. So once you start stepping away from some things and you start feeling it, then some things are going to bubble up. Some triggers are going to occur. Now, we just went through Year of the Snake, and the importance of that was just shedding what no longer serves you and starting anew. And so that could be jobs, could be relationships, it could be furniture in your house, it could be cleaning out closets, it could be restructuring the way you work with your children, it could be restructuring the way you have to accept your job, it could be changing your diet, and it could be just cutting out things that no longer serve you and that are taking your nervous system and just twisting it to hell. Okay. And you're living in a hell and you don't even know it. You just are so used to it. You're on autopilot with it. And until you step back and start looking at what is a distraction and what is interfering with your force field is what I just heard. So you're interfering with your force field. Okay. So there's many things that we came in to do, but we got sidetracked, sidelined, right? Maybe we're playing a different part than we had intended, maybe 5 years ago, a decade ago. And now we feel like that's running away with us, but shedding is very important. So I came across one of my girls groups that I don't pay attention to very often, but they have their own page that they post out on. And the other night, one posted out and asked for everyone to send energy because she was going to have a heart-to-heart conversation with her significant other. I did not know what the topic was. I was 12 hours to the party. And when I saw it, this is what came through. It's just said, hi, I'm not on here much, but Spirit had me see this post. And here's what came through. Speaking your truth can be very liberating. Letting go of the response you may receive is one of the first steps to opening up. Self-ownership is paramount. Difficult conversations have a tendency to have many layers. Allow the clarity to continue to flow Through each visit to the topic you were starting this morning, I'm sending you love. You've got this. The year of the snake was about stepping into the deep shed of what no longer serves and back out into the world with new skin that can be seen or felt as vulnerable, yet seen as fresh start. Courage, trust, a miracle of metamorphosis. Each shed represents multi-dimensional, unexplained subconscious, hidden stuff crossing many lifetimes. As we step into the fire horse, we step into our powers, a willingness to stand alone in our strength. The fire represents the inner burn, the inner fuel, and the God spark ignited, returning us towards our authentic form. Woo woo. And so much more. Keep speaking your truth, dear sister. The universe is here to support, as are the friends in this group. Much love is within you. Trust it will sustain you. So that is what came through, and I sent it. I do not see these women very often. I do not actually know them very well. We started out maybe 5-6 years ago trying to get together twice a year, but we were all kind of disconnected in many ways because of a multitude of levels that were in the group. And so they all clung together, and I've just sort of been the outsider. But that's also the way I live my life. I live my life stepping away from being clustered into groups. I only want to step in and out as I choose to step in and out, and not be classified as, oh, she belongs to this group or that group, or she's part of this club or she's not part of this club. Only because I just feel sometimes that that's all my attention can give energetically to most groups of people. And, there for a while I had to investigate, was that a self-sabotage, or was that possibly a self-protective mechanism? And in some ways, I learned that it was a self-protected mechanism because in many lifetimes, I lost my life sticking my neck out or being associated with. Okay. So in this lifetime, I came in with a clear communication of kinesthetic, tactile, reading the energy. And then I didn't quite know what to do with that in the world that was visual and audio only. And so it only had one learning style, and you either got it or you didn't, or you fumbled along. And I felt like I always was on the border. I was passed, I was under the radar all the time, but no one had any idea how much I struggled with it. So we are at the point now where there is no more persecution of self. That whole bullshit matrix is gone. It's been dissolved. It's no longer here. And the more you step into ownership, the more you step into thyself, the more you step into, your trueness, and you learn how to diplomatically and gracefully share that energy. It doesn't matter what someone's going to throw back at you, because you'll be so self-confident and your nervous system will be in alignment. Therefore, all other systems within your physical body and your physiological movements and responses don't pile up in the emotional baggage, right? Because you're releasing and unloading all of that you've carried, any trauma, drama, any series you've decided was a good series to keep repeating itself, taking up space rent-free, and really truly causing you a lot of harm, and therefore causing all others harm because you haven't dealt with it, right? So what's that Charlie Brown dude with the blanket that's dirty all the time, and you see dirt flying everywhere? Well, that's what your energy looks like. And so you may be quiet in the moment, but your energy is just flying dirt everywhere because you yourself have not taken the time to contain it, to clean it, to sweep it, and to create a better filter, right? By looking at yourself as the God source, who you truly are. And the year of the fire horse is about igniting that again within you. So it's bringing you to a place of truly authentic soul self without all of the collective and collection that you've done each lifetime that you brought into this lifetime. So this lifetime, you brought it in to get rid of it. Okay. It was like this lifetime was going to be your garbage disposal. You're going to let go, let God, and never let it be back on this earth again, and step into the inner power that you can co-create and create and be the driving force of this vehicle and all things that come with it. Okay. So your responses, your reactions, your behaviors begin to change as you step into thyself. So we're at this point. So many of us, like this gal in the group, are having these conversations. And you have to remember, it's built up for a very, very long time. And most of us don't want to have those conversations because we do not want to feel and see the reactions. And many of us that are also in this body, in this lifetime, are extremely empathic. So we are high sensory perception individuals. Okay. That's a talent. That's a gift. That's what you've got. Everybody's got it, but it's just been covered up. So you don't see it. And then, here we are having to face all of it. So some people do like to walk in nature. I'm just going to tell you guys flat out right now, I've been told by spirit all my life, no harm, no harm, no harm. That means a look on my face, a thought in my head that hasn't even come out of my lips. That means my body language. There is mood swings are not acceptable. They're not acceptable because they can be controlled, right? So you're going to run around and do all that crap and fling your shit onto everybody else because you didn't get a good night's sleep, or this boyfriend or girlfriend did this, or blah, 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 blah. Traffic was this, or I don't care. Get out of this victim perpetrator mentality. It doesn't serve you. But don't go out into this beautiful elemental kingdom we call nature and fling your shit. Don't do it. You may go out. You may ask for assistance by the trees, the breeze, the plants, and so on. You may ask them to help you filter, to assist you to filter, but you want to protect them. So you say, I don't want you to take my stuff. Just help me to learn how to filter this. Let me breathe this air. Let me be amongst the rocks, the wood, the metal, the earth. Let me be with all the elementals, the animal kingdom, the insects, everything that's out there. Let me be here and create no harm. And then whatever I filter, let me let go and send it back to source so that source can give it its mighty annihilation. Just get it all out of there and be done with it. And these things take time. They take time, right? So your best therapy is your breath, alignment in your breath. It's free. Do it. Call me to get a session. We'll just do a session on breathing so that you yourself can get control of the dials that you are not familiar with that are part of the equipment and the circuitry board as a human. Okay. So we're always reaching up and outside of ourselves for somebody else to tell us what to do. You connect with your breath and you learn how to align with that. And then you accept and sit in stillness with what shows up, even if it feels agitation and uncomfortable. Can you breathe through it and know that this too shall pass and maybe not to come back again? So there's many of us here on the planet right now who are shedding physical wounds, emotional wounds, mental wounds of many different lifetimes. And it's coming out with, it's coming in the form of, that's what I'm hearing, in the form of what might feel like debilitating, crippling pain that you may not have had before. And so you're going to have to ask yourself, what therapies do I need? Number one is breath. Number two would probably be see a doctor for peace of mind, get into some physical therapy, anti-inflammatory diet. Less is more. So start picking out organic, healthy, wholesome, whole foods. Get rid of all the processed crap that we know are laden with chemicals and sugars and salts that are unhealthy for our body. So we can't want and have a desire to do something and say, these are the changes we want to make, and we don't do it. So you can't say, I want to slenderize, I want to be healthy, while you sit on the sofa with a giant ass bag of potato chips and a Diet Coke. Okay, that to me just makes no sense. You know it too. So it's time to step in, step up, and to be all that you are here to be. And so we have to clean off our transmitter, our receiver, our antenna. That is our spinal cord. That is all in our spinal cord. It's the very first thing that forms, and it takes, I don't know, decades and decades and decades for it to ever go back into the earth. It's the last thing that ever dissolves on the physical human body. So isn't that interesting? So that golden fluid that runs through up and down the spinal cord is our life force, our cerebral spinal fluid. And so it nourishes and feeds every nerve, every messaging, everything is done through the spinal cord. Okay. And so, you know, a lot of people want to talk about the pineal gland. They want to talk about this or that, the pituitary, but you can't have a pineal gland without the pituitary and hypothalamus. And that goes into a whole other thing my spirit guides are saying. Just know if you can focus on one thing, and that is your central nervous system, and step away from things that overstimulate, step away from addictions, recognize that it's an addiction, just recognize it. Ask yourself, could you do everything different the next day? Do you have to get up and go straight to the toilet and then wash your face and do blah, blah, blah? Do you have to have that cup of coffee? Do you have to have certain things for breakfast? Is there a routine that you have? What happens if you blow up that routine and start doing things differently and start creating new neural pathways? So what does that mean? You're getting out of autopilot. Getting out of autopilot. You're allowing the subconscious autopilot to control your being of every second. 90% of everything you do comes from those storage units, because it has developed your personality, it has developed your behavior, it has developed your responses. Every crinkle on your face, every movement of your body, every thought in your brain comes from the subconscious. So start practicing being in the conscious mind. How long can I sit here in this moment and actually think about this moment? And see how fast you go backwards and think about what's already occurred. Think how fast you project forward to the unknownness, right? And this also, you know, Spirit saying this also goes into what pathways do you want to create moving forward? Are you ready to start building your pathways, building your street, building your road, building your bridge to the next level? Are you ready to do that? And so it's going to require kind of blowing up with a grenade all the things that don't serve you, aware or unaware. Just know that you're on autopilot. So start practicing with the breath and practicing staying in this moment, and count how many seconds you actually stayed there. I've done it for years and I failed so many times, and I never looked at it as failing. I said that word on purpose. Everything I looked at was a lesson. I go, whoa. And then I sometimes, when I would be a little more, I'm hearing the word adrenalified. It was adrenaline. It was on too much adrenaline. I would say, oh, I wonder if I could stop right now, like in the middle of this chaotic moment within my body. And I wonder if I could connect with my consciousness. So I started playing with all kinds of scenarios, not just waiting for the calm moment to occur. You work it any way you want. And again, you can have a session with me. We can go over it and design it and then keep tabs on each other with it. Okay. So, anyway, distraction, distraction, distraction. Start identifying what these distractions are. Start identifying how much you're living in the subconscious. Okay. Your preconceived notions, your judgments, your opinions, your thoughts, they're not even yours. They have been downloaded subliminally and right in your face by all of your ancestors, your community, your television, your radio, all over, sales and marketing out in the public, from your phones, your laptops, everything. It tells you what you're going to believe and what you're going to think and what you're going to do and what you're going to buy. And believe me, if you were to shut it all down and move out to some secluded like tent, I guarantee you'd wake up real quick in like 3 months and go, holy moly, I was brainwashed. So it's time to stop that shit. It's time to take responsibility and accountability and say, I'm here in this physical form. I am the only one that can touch these control dials. I'm going to learn how to set them. I'm going to learn how to temper them. I'm going to learn how to hum and ride this baby so that I have a smoother, more graceful, prosperous, abundant, joyful, happy, grateful in that space life. And I'm going to create that. And then I'm going to watch how so many things change around me. Right? Okay. So enough on that one. Spirit said I could do a whole session on that, but we're going to stop for a sec. We're going to flip gears. So on this podcast, I've got a new series coming up about addiction. And I really want everyone to subscribe so you don't miss all of these guests from so many different walks of life, experiencers, non-experiencers, professionals, whatever you want to call them. There's so many different levels and multi-levels of people that are going to be coming on, and we're going to really be diving into addiction and understanding it from a different point of view. Okay. Not just what you've been told by others on what an addiction is. And then you're going to find out how many addictions you personally have that you've made okay. I know for me, it's come up over the years because I know someone who suffers with addiction and I could no longer help that person. So I had to look at my own DNA lineage and I had to work on what can I do for me that releases so that I can release it in the line, in the lineage line, and in the line of those that are around me. So for years, I've been working on and off about that for myself, because what you heal within you heal within others. Okay. So doesn't that just make you want to step up? If what you stop right now and do for yourself to heal thyself, you heal the unknown collective. I don't know how anybody could deny that. I mean, for me, it's like, okay, great. Let me step up because I'm helping others too. I'm not only clearing off this debris with it's been really bogging me down, right? And in ways that I'm not even aware of, and in ways that are acutely chronic that I am aware of. So if I could heal this within myself, how amazing would I feel? But if I could lift this energy up from those around me, known and unknown, wow, I'm in. I'm all in. I'm all in. And it surprises me that people back away from that. Like there's no concept of that. Whoops. Which brings me to the split. Thanks. The split. We are having another major split in timelines, and we're going to live within multiple timelines. So you may find that the timeline that you're on and what you're experiencing and what you're hearing, seeing, sensing, and your perception is completely the opposite of like somebody next to you. And don't be so miffed and befuddled about it. Take a deep breath and say, oh, here's an example of two different timelines. I see, right? And we're going to bounce in and out of those a lot, a lot. Another thing that is coming up is the dream states are recycling a bunch of crapola that doesn't serve as well. Don't try to make sense of it. Just say thanks, whatever that was, good, bad, or indifferent. Thanks. Because my brain cleanses itself when I sleep. I don't know if y'all know that. It drains and cleanses itself. Okay. Whereas the body does it while you're awake because it needs movement, it needs lymphatic, it needs cardiovascular, it needs pulmonary, it needs the digestive tract moving out what was in it. Okay. So the physical body releases through movement, the brain releases through sleep. So turn your shit off at night, crawl into bed, prepare yourself for slumber, and to let your brain detox what doesn't serve. And you do this for a period of time, you're going to start feeling, first of all, the body starting to talk to itself differently and to each system differently. And all that crap that's cycling through, it's just being released. So more clarity will set in. And it has a feeling of peace too. It has a level of peace to it. There's an optimistic feel to it. So stick with that. It's timelines. Now let's get back to the podcast because that's what we're here for, right? So everybody can support me on Keep It Spiritually Simple. I need each and every one of you to participate because the information that's coming through on each show is so amazing and so like expansive because it's going to bring different angles of understanding addiction, understanding what's happening in 2026. Let's talk about that. So Deborah Moore's been on. She channeled a message recently and then went into what I want to call, my eyelids roll back in my head meditations. Her meditations, I think I'm drooling while I'm on camera. I don't know. You all let me know. So you got to tune in there. Dr. Nancy, she's written multiple books, and right now we've been reviewing her book of Ascendance, which is a lot of downloads in the form of a sentence or two. So they're extremely helpful on a daily basis. We've been going through that. She's also got a lot of certifications and education on addiction. So she's going to be speaking on that as well. We have Powers of Love, Jason and Heather, and they are addiction specialists. And they've come on now twice and are going to continue to come on. And just let me preface this. None of my shows are pre-chatted. None of them. I do not look at websites. I do not have conversations with my guests. We come on, we do a meet and greet, maybe talk, hey, what did you do? What do you want to bounce about? Once in a while, not even that. It's like, we go straight to record, usually within 60 seconds, and we just bounce. And so Heather and Jason and I, we bounce back and forth about addiction, frequencies, trauma, dopamines, the power of our feelings, and all kinds of things. And we're going to continue to go deeper and deeper and get through some of these layers of their experiences on both ends, personally and professionally. So that's beautiful. We've got Angel Incarnate Rachel Corpus. She's been on a couple times. She's going to keep coming back. She too is going to be talking about addiction from her angelic point of view. And in our last episode, we talked about what we see in the fourth realm. Now, I have talked to you guys about my vision. I can see eyes open, eyes closed, just the texture is different. I see beings, I see energy, I see all kinds of things. And I've been seeing it for seven years now, clear as bell. And then sometimes I don't understand it and I get really pissy with them because I'm like, could you bring me down to my human self, please? Could you talk all the way down here so I can understand it? Because I can't really share it or explain it or translate it in any way, shape, or form. I just know what I see repetitively, and it's always the same beings, right? And I have all kinds of beings in my room, day and night, but at night, they have a different shape and they don't scare me. I'm actually such at peace knowing that they're there. One of them actually looks like one of those, what do you call it, robo vacuums that goes all around, but it does it on my ceiling. So I look at them and I'm like, well, thanks for cleaning up. Appreciate it. Because it's energy, right? They're clearing and cleaning my energy, protecting, loving me, and being guardianship over me, as my big brothers and sisters. Christine Keelan, she channeled a galactic groups and came on and also talked about 2026. She's going to be coming back on again too. We've got Chris Oppenheimer. He is the founder of Botany Scientifics, which is amazing hemp products, which I will be talking more about as we move forward. I've been trying them, but I do not talk about anything or promote anything unless I have personally experienced it. Okay. And he's also going to be talking about addiction. So it seems like a topic everybody's like, yes, let me get on there. Let me talk about that. Got Nurse Ashley. We got on a show and I thought for sure she was just going to talk and I was going to listen and then chime in, and holy shiitake, it came back on me multiple times. And we were diving into me and my sugar addiction. And I was getting all kinds of messages and translations that really helped me see things differently just by having a non-rehearsed conversation. It's just freaking blew my mind. Like for 2 days, I was literally like, holy moly. Now, I also don't go back and listen to my shows. So I can only go by memory, and I don't edit my shows. They just get thrown out there. Spirit, I have not learned how to edit. I've not learned how to do big promos so that people get attracted to my channel. Spirit has insisted that I keep it simple. Insisted on it. And so maybe down the road when I have an assistant, they can help me, finesse some things. But in the meantime, the messages are very clear, very authentic, and very real and truthful. So that's about really all I wanted to talk to you all about. I just know that many of us have shedding residuals to do. Okay. Doesn't matter the Chinese linear year. It doesn't matter what animal is here. It doesn't matter what the planets are doing. It doesn't matter what your religious belief system is. None of that matters. It doesn't matter that we're in February and you're at this age. The thing is that you wake the fuck up now and realize that the world isn't what you think it is. You are not what you think you are. You're so much more. You've just bought into the programs of living in a way that everyone else is living. And, we're literally going on a world nervous breakdown. That is what is occurring. Our nervous systems are breaking down and saying, my body cannot sustain this. I cannot sustain this anymore. It is not fulfilling. And it is no example to my children. I do not consent to this anymore. I'm stepping back. So the body is really trying its best to calibrate, and it's in the best way that it can because it's very bogged down. So you've got a lot of clogged up pathways. Your filters are dirty. Your filters are very, very dirty. And you need to get in there and do some spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical vacuuming. You just do. And so, in order for us to get to the next scene, the stage, the phase of this particular round of human evolution, all of that stuff has to go. It has to go. So start with one or two things that you know you can do. First thing I thought of is I wanted all the poisons out of my kitchen. Then I wanted all the crap out of my closets. And then I looked around and I thought, it's still cluttered. How is this? How do I have more? I don't understand. And so slowly doing that. And then each time you do any of that, you're aligning it with your breath. And you're taking a breath all the way down to that pubic bone. You're going to pause it, hold it, suck it in, hold it 4 to 5 seconds, and then exhale it through your mouth. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds. Exhale it. And do this repeatedly. You don't need to be all exaggerated with it so you get lightheaded, right? But you do need to pay attention and connect with that breath because you're sending life force oxygen throughout your body, which the blood will then start collecting some of the crap and helping the filters lighten up. So you're doing an internal cleansing, internal vacuuming, and releasing and opening up valves that have been very locked up. Okay, your soul came in this lifetime to do all this. It's here to literally break the gates. It's going to shatter the screens, and all the illusions are going to come tumbling down and away and out. But you're going to see some ugly within yourself, and you're going to see some ugly within the world. And you just can't keep closing your eyes and saying, well, not in my community, not my little postage stamp. That's over there. When I saw that in the news, that's across the sea. Well, brothers and sisters, they are you. And so if it can happen there, it can happen here. So especially us here in the United States, quit thinking you're so damn safe. You're not. Anything can happen at any time. And some things could happen and it looks like something horrible, but it was deviantly planned, as most of it is. And Spirit's saying right now, let's not go down that path. Let's just connect with our breath. Let's try to open up that subconscious storage unit. Let's let go of all those steering wheels in there, gas pedals and brakes that have been controlling us. Let it all go because you are a vessel of the divine, and it starts with you. It starts with me. It's the only thing we can control. All right. I did not mean to ramble this long. I hope that you found some tips and tools and encouragement and some interest in some upcoming videos. And I love each and every one of you. I enjoy doing this podcast. If you knew how I started, you'd never think I'd ever be doing this. But I am, and I will continue because it's my godly duty to do what I do. All right. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and leave me a message on how you're doing at the end of February 2026. See you on the next episode of Keep It Spiritually Simple. Bye, everybody.